A young woman vanishes. Her car is found days later, but the person who left it remains a mystery. Their face? Hidden in every frame of surveillance footage. What happened to Jennifer Kesse? Imagine coming home to an empty room where every familiar detail now feels like a ghost from your past. That's the nightmare Jennifer's family has lived for nearly 2 decades. This isn't just a missing persons case. It's a mystery that touches on our deepest fears of the unexplained. What secrets lie hidden in her final moments? What could have happened to make someone disappear so completely? Join me for another odd, mysterious story here at Odd Mystery Stories. Picture this: a black Chevy Malibu sits alone in a parking lot, its owner nowhere to be seen. It's been 2 days since Jennifer Kesse vanished without a trace, and now her car has suddenly appeared at the Huntington on the Green complex. This isn't where Jennifer usually parks. In fact, she never comes to this place at all. As police approach the vehicle, the air is thick with tension. The crunch of gravel under their boots breaks the eerie silence. Flashlight beams cut through the darkness, dancing across the car's surface. What will they find inside? Will there be signs of a struggle? Evidence of foul play? But as they peer through the windows, everything looks normal. Almost too normal. It's as if Jennifer had just stepped away for a moment, leaving her belongings behind. Her phone charger lies where she left it. Her sandals rest on the floor, perhaps kicked off during a drive. There is even a damp towel, hinting at a morning routine abruptly interrupted. But where is Jennifer? The police meticulously comb through the area, hoping someone might have seen her. But as the hours tick by, it becomes clear that Jennifer hasn't been spotted here. It's as if she vanished into thin air, leaving only her car behind as a silent witness to her disappearance. Just when the trail seemed dead, an unexpected clue came from a video recording. Surveillance footage from the complex captures someone parking Jennifer's car. Hearts race as the investigators review the tape. Could this be the moment they've been waiting for? But fate, it seems, has other plans. In a cruel twist, the person's face is obscured in every single frame. It's as if some unforeseen force is deliberately hiding the truth, dangling it just out of reach. Who is this shadowy figure, and what have they done with Jennifer? The timeline becomes even more puzzling. 2 whole days have passed since Jennifer was last seen. What happened during that time? Where was her car before it ended up here? The location of the car raises even more questions. Huntington on the Green isn't just any random spot. It's known as a place where stolen vehicles often turn up. Was Jennifer's car stolen and then abandoned here? Or did someone deliberately choose this location, knowing its reputation? As investigators piece together the puzzle, the picture that emerges is unsettling. Jennifer's car, found just over a mile from her condo, feels both too close and too far. Close enough to suggest she never left the area, yet far enough to indicate something went terribly wrong. The car's condition adds another layer of confusion. There are no signs of forced entry, no evidence of a struggle. It's as if Jennifer willingly left her vehicle behind. But why would she do that? And why here of all places? As night falls and the search continues, the weight of the unknown settles over the investigation like a heavy fog. Somewhere out there, Jennifer Kesse is missing. And somewhere out there, someone knows why. What if you knew it was your last normal day? For Jennifer Kesse, January 23rd, 2006 was that day. Though she had no way of knowing it, picture Jennifer fresh from a Caribbean getaway with her boyfriend Rob Allen. The vacation glow still lingers, but as night falls, a shadow creeps across the idyllic scene. Jennifer and Rob find themselves arguing over the phone about their long-distance relationship. You can almost feel the tension crackling through the line as Jennifer voices her insecurities. If only they knew it would be their last conversation. Would they have found a way to make peace? As the argument fades into uneasy silence, Jennifer prepares for bed. Does she toss and turn, replaying the conversation in her mind? Or does she push it aside, focusing on the workday ahead? The next morning arrives all too soon. Jennifer's alarm pierces the quiet at 6 a.m., just like any other day. She rises, following her usual morning routine. Coffee brews, makeup is applied, work clothes are donned. It's the start of a new day, full of promise and potential. But lurking beneath the surface of this ordinary morning, an extraordinary and terrifying fate awaits. Jennifer was known for her cautious nature, especially when it came to her safety. On a typical morning, she'd be on the phone with her father or boyfriend, while maintenance workers were present in her complex. It was her way of feeling secure, of having a virtual companion during potentially vulnerable moments. But on this particular morning, something's different. At approximately 7:30 a.m., a couple driving by Jennifer's complex spots her black Chevy Malibu swerving out of the parking lot. They don't just see the car driving erratically, they witness what appears to be a struggle inside the car. Can you picture it? A car weaving dangerously, its occupants locked in some kind of conflict. It's a scene that sends shivers down your spine, especially when you consider Jennifer's usual safety conscious behavior. This sighting raises so many questions. Was Jennifer behind the wheel fighting off an attacker? Or had someone already overpowered her, now struggling to control both her and the car? The mind races with possibilities, each more unsettling than the last. The fleeting glimpse of Jennifer's car, caught in a moment of chaos, becomes the last confirmed sighting of either Jennifer or her vehicle that morning. It's as if they both vanished into thin air, leaving behind a wake of questions and a growing sense of dread. Think about it. One moment, Jennifer is going about her morning routine, perhaps still mulling over last night's argument with Rob. The next, she's at the center of a frightening struggle, witnessed by chance, and then nothing. No trace, no trail, no Jennifer. What happened in those crucial moments between Jennifer's normal morning routine and the sighting of her car? Did someone lie in wait, watching for the perfect moment to strike? Or did Jennifer encounter danger on her way to work, falling victim to a terrible twist of fate? Imagine living in a place where safety is just an illusion, where danger lurks behind every corner. For Jennifer Kesse, her seemingly perfect life at Mosaic at Millennia held a dark secret that no one fully understood until it was too late. Jennifer's world seemed to sparkle with promise: a recent promotion, a beautiful new condo, and a future full of potential. But beneath this gleaming facade, an unsettling reality was taking root. The Mosaic at Millennia complex, Jennifer's chosen sanctuary, was crumbling to reveal a sinister underbelly. Picture this. You're walking to your car when you feel eyes on you. You look up to see a group of workers, their gazes lingering, their comments making your skin crawl. This wasn't just Jennifer's experience, it was a shared unease that rippled through the complex. One resident, Tammy Valdez, lived a nightmare just beneath Jennifer's unit. Imagine coming home to find mysterious footprints in your apartment. Then, catching a man peering into your patio, engaging in acts too disturbing to ignore. These weren't tricks of the light. They were real threats that management seemed all too willing to dismiss. In this gated community, safety was supposed to be guaranteed, but reality told a different story. Gates stood wide open, the guardhouse was often emptied, and in an age of constant surveillance, the complex lacked even basic security cameras. It was as if someone had set the stage for disaster. Now, let's talk about Jennifer's neighbors, or rather the people she thought were her neighbors. Across the hall, in what should have been another residence home, up to 10 construction workers had taken up residence. Their eyes and ears were mere feet from Jennifer's front door. Did they watch her every move? Did they learn when she was most vulnerable? Residents like Jennifer told loved ones about the workers' inappropriate behavior, the stares that made them uncomfortable, the comments that sent chills down their spine, but their concerns seemed to vanish into thin air, unaddressed and unresolved. As investigators later pieced together the puzzle of Jennifer's disappearance, These unsettling details cast long shadows over the case. The workers, with their unfettered access and proximity, became figures of intense speculation. Did one of them have sinister intentions towards Jennifer? Did their constant presence provide the perfect cover for someone with malicious plans? But here's where the story takes a frustrating turn. Despite the red flags, the residents' concerns, and the suspicious circumstances, police never interviewed these workers. Their identities remain a mystery, potential leads left dangling. It's as if they vanished into thin air, taking with them any answers about Jennifer's fate. So we're left with haunting questions. Who were these men living across from Jennifer? What did they see or hear before she vanished? And why, in a case that has baffled investigators for years, were these obvious persons of interest never thoroughly questioned? Picture this. You're watching surveillance footage that might hold the key to finding your missing loved one. Your heart races as you see a figure approaching their car. This could be it, the breakthrough you've been waiting for. But as the video plays, something isn't right. The person's face is always hidden, obscured in every single frame. It's as if you're chasing a shadow that refuses to take shape. Welcome to the baffling world of the phantom figure in Jennifer Kesse's case. This mysterious individual, caught on camera yet impossibly elusive, might hold the answers to her disappearance. But their identity? It's a puzzle that's left even the sharpest minds in law enforcement scratching their heads. The surveillance footage shows Jennifer's car being parked. We see the phantom park the car, sit for 32 seconds, and then calmly walk away. It's chilling how casual they seem, isn't it? It's as if abandoning a missing woman's car was just another day's work. Experts pored over every frame, trying to squeeze out any detail they could. Their best estimate? Our phantom stands somewhere between 5'3" and 5'5". They also noticed a distinctive walk and clothing resembling a painter or construction worker. Remember those renovation workers at Jennifer's complex? The ones that made residents feel so uneasy? Now, imagine being in the room when the police showed this footage to a former housekeeper who used to work at Jennifer's complex. The tension must have been unbearable. And then, the housekeeper's response. That looks like Chino. Chino, a name that would send shockwaves through the investigation. This wasn't just some random person. Chino was a maintenance worker who had been in Jennifer's condo just a week before she vanished. Can you feel the hairs on the back of your neck standing up? But here's where the story takes another twist. In 2009, 3 years after Jennifer's disappearance, police finally got their chance to interview Chino. He was in prison, serving time for sexually assaulting a minor. The timing of that crime, just 2 years after Jennifer vanished, well, it certainly raises some eyebrows, doesn't it? Chino claimed he couldn't remember much about the time surrounding Jennifer's disappearance. His forgetfulness? It didn't exactly inspire confidence, but here's the kicker. Chino took a polygraph test, and he passed. Before you think that clears him completely, listen to what Detective Joel Wright had to say about it. People can pass polygraphs regardless of their guilt or innocence. Wright had some interesting thoughts on the case. My gut feeling, he said, is that they know something about it. The chances of ever solving this case lie somewhere in the people who worked there or lived there. They, in this case, refers to Chino and another person of interest named Ben. When you look closely at Chino's story, things don't quite add up. There are inconsistencies, particularly when it comes to his interactions with Jennifer and the timeline of events leading up to her disappearance. It's like trying to complete a jigsaw puzzle where some of the pieces just don't fit. Remember how Chino's story didn't quite add up? That's just the first of many twists in Jennifer Kesse's case. As time passed, theories multiplied like wildfire. Was Jennifer carjacked? Kidnapped by a stalker? Each new lead promised answers, only to fizzle out. Yet, nothing was as it seemed. Take the cell tower data, for instance. It initially suggested Jennifer was out late the night before she vanished. Investigators swarmed into action, thinking they were on the verge of a breakthrough, but it turned out to be a false alarm, leaving everyone back at square one. Then came the tip about a rolled-up carpet being dumped in a lake 10 months after Jennifer disappeared. Can you imagine the excitement? Divers plunged into the murky waters, searching desperately for any sign of Jennifer, but once again their efforts came up empty. The Kesse family's hopes were crushed once more. These dead ends took their toll on the investigators. Detective Joel Wright, visibly frustrated, stated, "It's like chasing ghosts. Every time we think we're close, the trail goes cold." Jennifer's parents, driven by desperation, sued for access to the case files. What they received was staggering, 16,000 pages of documents, but as they pored over those pages, a shocking truth emerged. The police hadn't been actively investigating the case for years. This revelation changed everything. Private investigators took over where law enforcement had left off, interviewing witnesses the police had never even spoken to. It's like they were starting the investigation from scratch, years after Jennifer vanished. As these fresh eyes combed through the evidence, a new theory began to take shape. Michael Toretto, one of the investigators, believes that Jennifer was attacked immediately after leaving her condo. He suggests that the individuals living in the apartment across from her were involved in the abduction. Think about that for a moment. If Toretto is right, it means Jennifer's attacker was lying in wait, right there on her doorstep. It's a chilling thought, isn't it? The idea that danger could be so close, yet completely unseen. Toretto's theory shifts the entire timeline of Jennifer's disappearance. If she was taken right after leaving her condo, it means all those other leads, the sightings, the car movements, they all happened after Jennifer was already gone. It's like looking at a familiar picture and suddenly seeing it a completely different light. All the pieces we thought we knew, all the theories we've been working with, they all change if Toretto is right. So now we're left with new questions. If Jennifer was taken right outside her condo, how did no one see or hear anything? Who were these people living across from her, and why weren't they more thoroughly investigated at the time? As we peel back these new layers of the case, it's clear that there's still so much we don't know. But with private investigators now on the job, bringing fresh perspective and renewed energy, could we finally be on the verge of a breakthrough in Jennifer Kesse's case? As we dive deeper into Jennifer's case, the questions keep piling up. What would you ask if you could sit face to face with Jennifer's abductor? The answer might reveal more about you than you think. Nearly 2 decades have passed since Jennifer vanished, and her case remains as perplexing as ever. Every theory we explore seems to raise more questions than it answers. It's a labyrinth of mysteries, each turn revealing new, unsettling possibilities. One of the most haunting aspects of this case is the lack of signs of struggle in Jennifer's condo. Picture it, a young woman's home, seemingly untouched, yet its occupant vanished without a trace. How is that even possible? Someone took her, but how did they get in without leaving any evidence behind? And how did the abductor know Jennifer's schedule? The experts who've looked into this case have a disturbing theory. They believe it was likely someone familiar with her routine, someone who lived or worked at the complex. Let that sink in for a moment. And what about Jennifer's car? Why was it left at that specific location? Was it chosen randomly, or was there a reason? Maybe the abductor thought it would throw off the investigation, or perhaps they were interrupted before they could take the car further. Then there's the surveillance video. That ghostly figure, always just out of focus, parking Jennifer's car and walking away. Who were they? Were they directly involved in Jennifer's disappearance? Or just an unlucky bystander caught up in something they didn't understand? If the workers at Jennifer's complex were responsible, as some have suggested, why hasn't anyone come forward after all of these years? Guilt can be a powerful motivator, and secrets this big are hard to keep. Yet, nearly 2 decades later, we're still in the dark. Did they make some kind of pact? Or is the truth something entirely different from what we've imagined? As we ponder these questions, it's important to remember the human cost of this ongoing mystery. Drew Kesse, Jennifer's father, expressed the family's anguish in a heart-wrenching statement. We just want an answer. It's a simple plea that carries the weight of years of uncertainty and grief. While Drew doubts that Jennifer is still alive, the family hasn't given up hope for closure. The Kesse family's journey throughout this nightmare has been marked by unimaginable pain, but also by resilience. They have faced each day not knowing if it would bring answers or more questions. This constant state of limbo has reshaped their lives in ways most of us can barely comprehend. In their struggle for answers, the Kesses has become advocates for change. Their efforts led to the passing of the Jennifer Kesse and Tiffany Sessions Missing Persons Act. This law now requires law enforcement to begin looking for missing adults 25 years and younger within 2 hours of a missing persons report. It's a bittersweet legacy, a positive change born from unimaginable tragedy. But will we ever know the truth about what happened to Jennifer? The case remains open, a testament to the enduring mystery and the determination of those seeking answers. Every new lead, every fresh perspective brings a glimmer of hope. Yet, with each passing year, the trail grows colder. Imagine the relentless pain of not knowing where your loved one is. That's the reality for Jennifer Kesse's family. They've set up a tip line and are offering a $15,000 reward for information. As of January 2023, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement has taken over the investigation. After years of tireless searching, Jennifer's father, Drew Kesse, sees this as a positive step. I think right now we are in the best position in 17 years, he said. The FDLE wants the case. They know what they're doing. Could this be the breakthrough the Kesse family has been waiting for? Your information could be the lifeline that brings Jennifer home. No detail is too small. What do you know? Hey, thanks for joining me in another odd mystery. My name is Vince. If you enjoyed this story, you might also be interested in the story of Billy Smolinski, who disappeared in Connecticut. You'll find the link to that story in the upper right corner of your screen. Your support helps keep these stories alive, giving the affected families the hope they seek. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And for those who'd like to further support the channel, be sure to check out our online store for exclusive merch and more. I appreciate you. Thank you.